tradition in this sport, and he should be a headliner.
And more than anything, he was mad because he thought he was making quite a fashion statement with that outfit, and Thomas Tate criticized it. No, I think that Roy Jones Jr. feels very strongly that he can get more attention. But you know what? He's going to have to fight guys like Tate to get it.
All right, Roy Jones Jr. standing by with Fernando. Fernando?
Thank you, Bob. Roy, what do you think of this particular fight? I guess if you say that you hate your opponent, that would be an understatement.
No, I never hate anybody. I don't even hate my opponent. But I got to go out and do what I got to do to him. You know, he wants my title, and I ain't about it.
Tell us a little bit about the collar.
But the tall collar, he said he's a big dog. Big dogs wear collars. You know anything else?
What's your prediction for this fight?
Somebody in trouble.
Who's that somebody?
Thomas Tate.
All right, well.
And his corner, me and anybody else who might want some. When I'm out here giving it out, whoever wants to come get it. Do I hear you?
They already made shirts that they're the champs. What do you think about that?
They got a lot of shirts that they got to go burn.
Well, good luck, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Fernando. I don't think he's the best in his weight division, and it's a weight division that is filled with good people. Not only fighters like Thomas Tate, but the Gerald McClellans and the James Tonys and the Prince Charles Williams, Nigel Benz. All these people are excellent fighters out there.
Well, Thomas Tate's brother, Frank, also a notable fighter, Frank Tate, and he lost to Jones as an amateur, did Thomas Tate, in the amateur game, although Tate and Jones obviously both were very successful amateurs. As an amateur, Tate won the gold at the U.S. Olympic Festival in 1986. In 1988, he lost to Tim Littles for a spot on the Olympic team.
And you know, he has been there before for a world title match, fought Julian Jackson back in August of 1992, went the distance with Jackson, and that was at a time when Julian Jackson was still considered a very big knockout puncher. So we know Thomas Tate can take some big shots.
Well, he also fought in 1991 for the IBF International Middleweight title. It was his first loss of his career. He had strung together 22 straight wins, but he lost to Percy Harris. He had taken that fight on short notice. So he's had a very successful career, the #1 contender by the IBF, and as we saw earlier, ranked #3 by the WBC. Can he back up all his talk? That's the question.
Well, he's a fighter that has never been knocked out before, and that is what Roy Jones dearly wants to do, because this is as much about marketing as it is winning. Roy Jones doesn't just want to win. Thomas Tate, let's face it, while he's ranked near the top, is not necessarily a marquee name in the division. And so, to the average fan, anything less than a dominating performance against Thomas Tate will not really help Roy Jones's cause.
What about the inactivity? Tate has not fought since December when he beat Rolando Torres in Mexico, and Roy Jones Jr., he's had one fight in the last 6 months. That was in March in Pensacola.
Yeah, now in 1993, he did fight 4 times, Thomas Tate, and that is a reasonable schedule for a fighter that's a top contender, although a lot would like to fight more often. And I think that if there's ring rust, it'll hurt Thomas Tate a little bit more, because Jones can always rely on his boxing skills.
They both turned pro in 1989. 31 professional fights for that man, Thomas Tate. 25 for Roy Jones Jr. and Thomas Tate with that long hop to the ring.
It is a long walk here to the ring, isn't it?
Let's have a locker room further back. Fernando Guillermo, who's working the locker room, had him tied up a little bit.
His brother Frank, in fact, is now a fine light heavyweight. Thomas Tate is fired up for this one, isn't he? Eddie Mustafa Muhammad will be in his corner, and that's the man that often dresses in glittery garb coming in the ring, but I have to say that the collar is a new look.
Well, it goes well with the robe. I do miss some of the big hats that he used to come in the ring with. The victory over Tate, they will set that payday against James Toney, as you mentioned earlier, Al. And, you know, that's really the big thing for Roy Jones Jr., because that's what will get him the respect that he's looking for.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, along the way, James Toney's got to beat Prince Charles Williams, which is not going to be easy, but this man needs a big fight. But before he gets to any of those big fights, he's got to get through Thomas Tate this evening. Now, when he won his title against Bernard Hopkins, it was a good performance. It was a great performance. And I think that has made some people reassess their evaluation of Roy Jones Jr. I don't know that it's appropriate because I think he is one of the most talented guys in boxing. But we'll find out a lot more tonight, won't we?
All right, okay. I'll follow you.
Many people figured that Roy Jones Jr. would be a sensation, a star coming off those '88 Olympics, but it's moved along slowly. But right now he is the owner of that IBF middleweight belt, and it's a slow, methodical walk with the collar for Roy Jones Jr.
If you ever needed any evidence that the MGM is a very big hotel, both Thomas Tate and Roy Jones Jr. have provided lots of evidence in how long it's taken them to get to the ring.
Well, it is the largest hotel in the world, over 5,000 rooms. I left for the ring yesterday.
And we're glad you got here in time.
Juan Pablo, along with Al Bernstein, Fernando Piermo working the locker rooms. Glad you can join us. The rising stars. We've seen Danny Romero post a win, Rafael Ruelas, Oscar De La Hoya coming up a little bit later on, and Roy Jones Jr. out of Pensacola, Florida, makes his first defense of his IBF middleweight championship belt against Thomas Tate. And really, the future of boxing is now with these younger fighters ready to step into the limelight.
You know, the good thing about that outfit is you got yourself a smoking jacket when the fight's over, really. Or drapes, whichever.
You might be able to use that in one of your acts.
I'll ask him if I can use that when I open here at
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for tonight's IBF middleweight championship bout. We're going to look at the key numbers. Roy Jones Jr., 25 years of age. Thomas Tate, 28. Really not much of a difference there.
Very similar, and in fact, even in style, they're similar, except that Jones is probably a little faster and quicker.
And this fight governed by the IBF.
10-point must system in effect, 3 knockdown rule not, no standing 8 count. We went through these before, and of course, it cannot be saved by the bell. Only the referee can stop the bout, but we'll quiz you later in case you forgot it.
Now for the introductions, we're getting set to send it up to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
You fight somebody now, boy. You fight somebody now.
From the MGM Grand, the world's largest hotel to see a theme park here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Top Rank Incorporated and your King of Beers, Budweiser, continue this night of rising stars. Once again, this bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Officials at ringside stay the same as the previous bouts. And once again, this bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. The supervisor at ringside for this bout for the IBF will be Alvin Goodman. The 3 judges scoring the bout on a 10-point must system are Don O'Neill, Tom McDonough, and Jerry Roth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, man your battle stations. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Middleweight Championship of the World. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Richard Steele. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with black trim, weighing in at 159 1/2 pounds. He comes to us from the Motor City of Detroit, Michigan, and his professional record, 29 victories, 21 KOs, against only 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the #1 ranked contender in the world, Thomas Tate! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with gold trim, he weighs an even 159 pounds. This 1988 Olympic silver medalist from Pensacola, Florida, is undefeated with a record of 25-0, 22 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated IBF middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Okay, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again, obey my commands at all times. Shake, gloves, and good luck.
All right, we're ready to go. Obviously, Thomas Tate trying to bait Roy Jones Jr. to start this one, but Roy Jones Jr. really didn't mess with that too much.
They don't even want to go back to their corners. Jones showing disdain for the annex of Thomas Tate.
And we begin round one. What do you look for early, Al?
I think Roy Jones wants to box Tate. He wants to move on him and counterpunch him. That's what he told me when I interviewed him earlier this week, and I think that's what we're going to see. Though he's getting some good counter right hands in already. The hand speed of Jones is the big difference here, and would figure to be. Thomas Tate is not a huge puncher, but they feel, he and his camp and Mustafa Muhammad feel, Jones hasn't really been tested much by anybody as a puncher. Bernard Hopkins was a good puncher, but couldn't really land effectively against Jones.
Jones has 5 career first-round knockouts. Tate with 3. And right now, Jones unleashing with that right hand.
And I think he hurt Thomas Tate with that.
Well, that back leg, that right leg of Tate wobbling.
Well, posturing notwithstanding, this has been a great first round for Jones, and not such a good one for Thomas Tate.
You know, you can talk about your opponent a lot. Jones blocking those punches as Tate did, but when you finally get hit by him, it's a different story.
Yeah, you got to produce in the ring, and the hand speed of Jones giving Tate lots of problems. Even when Jones is against the ropes in the corner, which is not a place Roy Jones normally wants to be. There's the hand speed, and you can see it really makes a huge difference in this fight.
Well, left hand scored. There's an uppercut as well by Roy Jones Jr. in the black trunks, and another one.
Thomas Tate stood up to the punching power of Julian Jackson, who was at that time very much a big puncher in this division. And so far, despite being hit with big punches in this first round, he stood up to the power of Jones, though being dominated this first round.
That's been all Roy Jones Jr. in the black trunks.
And I want to point something out right now. Roy Jones Jr. has a history of fading a bit in fights. In other words, even against Hopkins in the later rounds, he wasn't that effective. So I'm sure Tate is thinking, if I can get through this early barrage, I can still get something done against this guy. So we shouldn't count Tate out early, despite the fact that he is getting rocked with some pretty big punches.
Closing seconds of this first round. The first title defense for Roy Jones Jr.
Tell you what, though, Jones is showing a better arsenal of punches and a better variety than I have ever seen from him as a pro.
Left hand has worked effectively along with the right. And that is the end of round one. Tate says you didn't hurt me. But Jones has the scorecard.
Good job, baby. I'll set you with the strong side, okay?
Early in the round, Roy Jones got in the right hand against Tate and got it in repeatedly, using the jab to set it up, and that's why he used that jab. Perfect 1-2 combinations. Then later on in the round, it will be a different weapon. It will be the hooks and the uppercuts by Jones. And what all this does is demonstrate what a good variety of punches Roy Jones has used.
Round two underway.
And interestingly, only 18 of Jones' 96 punches in round one were.
Oh, and down goes Tate. Wow. There's an inside left. He's on the corner rope standing. Richard Steele with the count. Oh, and Tate. That's it. His corner comes out and stops it. And Roy Jones Jr. does advance early in round two. His 6th career second-round knockout. Tate just walked right into that inside left.
There was we talked about the variety of punches by Roy Jones. Now, he's not known as a devastating left hook artist. More power probably in the right hand. But he was able to crank up the hook, land uppercuts, and do everything necessary. And here's what's significant about this victory. The fact is, no one else has knocked Thomas Tate out before. And he's been in there against the likes of Julian Jackson. And has not been sent down. So this is significant, and it shows the kind of power that Roy Jones wanted to show to send a message to some of the other good middleweights.
23rd knockout, and they have Thomas Tate seated right above us. Smart move, they got him on a stool. And right now, his head goes in. I want you to stand up and go over. Inside position, taking a close look at it. Take your time, no need to rush it. Roy Jones Jr. puts back on that IBF middleweight championship belt. His first title defense was awesome.
Now, let me get him I love it.
Well, an interesting start to round two. Roy Jones Jr. just pummeling Thomas Tate.
Number one, baby.
And the interesting thing is the hand speed of Jones was just too much. And we'll take a look at the end of this bout.
Yeah, let's watch the replay. I didn't even know what the hell you hit him with.
The good left hand on the inside. A hook by Roy Jones Jr. And you know, you don't usually land a left hook like that from the outside, Bob, but Jones was able to do that. Here it is from the outside. I mean, you don't normally land a lunging left hook like that and get it in that fashion. But boy, it landed with a lot of authority.
Yeah, Tate was leaning, too.
All right, man, good fight.
Wow. Looked a little bit like Floyd Patterson in the old days. Remember when he used to kind of jump out there with that hook?
Also a Joe Frazier hook that hurt Muhammad Ali at Madison Square Garden in their first fight. Let's take a look. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad comes running right above us to stop this thing.
He realized that Thomas Tate was in huge trouble, and you would have to assume Richard Steele was thinking about stopping it anyway. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad says, Just for a moment, Thomas Tate was distressed, but it was, as you see his legs wobble, you know that Thomas Tate did not want anything to do with it. And for Roy Jones Jr., this would be a dance step that Don Cornelius would be proud to put on his show.
He looked like Hammer doing a little gallop.
He did indeed.
And Thomas Tate was immediately put down on the stool at that point. Roy Jones Jr. celebrates win number 26, his 23rd knockout in very, very impressive style. Number one. Now we take you up to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Richard Steele calls a halt to the bout. 30 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO victory, and still the undefeated IBF middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Well, Thomas Tate did all the talking before the fight. Roy Jones Jr. with that left hand finished it quickly. Round number 2 in a very impressive showing. Roy Jones Jr. gets win number 26, and here are the final numbers. Jones throwing 99 punches. He connected 51 of them. That's 52%. He just took the fight to Tate from the start, used the left hand and the right hand, and was dominant in winning this round. This fight in just 2 rounds of action. Al Bernstein has made his way into the ring. He's standing by with Roy Jones Jr.
Thank you, Bob. I am here with Roy Jones Jr., who did something pretty significant here. Thomas Tate had not been knocked out to this point, and I get the feeling you really wanted a knockout in this fight because of all the stuff that had preceded the fight.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to come out here and do the things that I did. What's up, Pensacola? Everybody, I still love you. I'm number one. Like to say hey to JT, Mike, Ray, everybody up in Great Gorge. It was wonderful. I came out here to get him because, for one, Bob Earl made me a proposition. He told me the best performance of the night would be point guard for his new basketball team. I had to have it.
You'd be the point guard for the. So you're going to play for the New Orleans ball club playing point guard.
Let's Bob go back on his word. Now that's what he told me, so I don't know.
That's some pretty good motivation now that I think about it.
Some darn good motivation. What's up, PC?
All right, you got the job done. You got it done early. One thing that it struck me was very impressive about your performance, and it's often the case with you, but even more so tonight, was the variety of punches. You started out with the jab, the straight right hand, but in the second round, you really came with the hooks and the uppercuts.
Well, the second round, see, the thing was, nobody never seen me really fight. Everybody see me move around the box because, like I told you, I don't get paid to really fight. So tonight, you know, I was out here and I said my title's on the line, so I may as well go ahead and fight. So he wanted to fight. He's talking about how he's gonna come at me. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Is part of that also the fact that, let's face it, people are thinking now in terms of these mega fights. You against Tony, there's Gerald McClellan out there, there's all these middleweights and super middleweights out there. Is part of it to establish in people's minds that Roy Jones Jr. might be the elite of that, or that you want to think of yourself as the elite?
What's up, Toto? What's up, Mr. Grant? Mr. Grant? I am the elite of that. We ain't got to discuss that. They know when it come time to fight, anybody who want to fight, hey, put the money down, I will do it. Understand? He just found that out. He talking about a big dog. He got a big dog right here. Anybody who want to get it done, we can do it.
All right, Roy, let's take a peek at the end of the fight here. You really landed a lunging left hook. It was kind of an interesting punch.
Because I fooled him. I knew they was sending him at me, so he thought I wasn't set. And I just set him up with a nice, beautiful left hook. Sometimes I don't understand how I throw it so pretty. Look at him, just a sleep. Look at that. Just a pretty, come on, follow the champ. Ed Mustafa sending him at me. Come on, get him. Come on, get him. Hold up, champ. He give him what he want. Here it is. Bingo. See ya. We want to be you tomorrow.
You know what? Talk about basketball. Dick Vitale couldn't have done that any better. You know that?
He probably couldn't, but
that was a good commentary.
Hey, it's just, you know, like I say, I thank God everything is so wonderful. My camp's doing good. Smoke came out here, turned it on, did what he was supposed to do. Hey, Carl, what's up?
After you beat him, you did do a little dance there that I thought was actually pretty special. Take a look at it here.
Oh, they call that riding that donkey.
Is there a name for that?
Yeah, you got to know how to ride that donkey. I was just riding that donkey across the ring. I wasn't sure the ref was finna stop it, so I finna ride the donkey back over there and catch up with him a little bit more, you know?
The one thing I want to say, I don't think they'll let you do that in the NBA, though.
What's up, Big Rod? I don't care what they let me do in the NBA. Right. Hey, I can do this thing. However I got to do it, I got to do it.
Now, let's get back one more second to James Toney. I know you dealt with that a little bit, but let me ask you again.
Talk to me.
As you think about him as a potential opponent, what are your general thoughts, and honestly, about his style and about who you match up against him?
James Toney got a very unique style. He's very different. He got quick hands. He got decent punching power. James Toney's a good fighter. I don't take nothing away from him. I'm not like him. I'm not going to go out and boast and say, I do this and I do that when I don't know that for sure. But from what I can see, he can't beat me. It's simple and plain. He can talk. He can say the one and say, they put it down right. He cannot beat me. Him and nobody else come to think of it. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, congratulations, Roy.
Yeah, all right, you take it easy, man.
Let's go now! If he could just break out of his shell, Roy Jones Jr. would really be a star in boxing. Let's go to Bob Papa.
None of those men, however, all of whom have